Here I have all the equipment gathered around the front door. First, I'll fit the blower door frame to the door jamb. The blower door frame should fit tight against the door stops and in the same location that the door itself fits. Go ahead and pull the frame up to its full height and then move each of those two cam levers to their center or neutral position. Then tighten both of the nuts down. Next, I'll do the same procedure across the width of the door. Now that I have the frame adjusted to size, I've loosened the cam locks and taken the frame out of the doorway. I've gone and I've laid the cape and the frame on the sidewalk outside to wrap the two together. Other technicians might stand the frame against a wall and drape the cape over the frame. Either way works fine. Then I put the whole assembly back in the doorway. It may take some pushing and adjusting to get the assembly back in the doorway. Tighten the cam locks and then check to see that everything is secure. It's important that you adjust and tighten the frame so it's snug in the door during this step. If it's not tight enough, the frame can tip into the room once you start the fan and it depressurizes the home. This model of blower door has an additional crossbar which is often installed at this stage. This bar is used to stabilize the fan. Like many parts of the procedure, you could install this crossbar at a different stage of the assembly. After you do this a few times, you'll learn what works best for you. The next step is to install a hose through the cape to the outdoors. This hose will be used to reference outdoor pressure. Be sure to pull several feet of slack to the outdoors and toss the end of that hose off to the side so that it's away from the airstream that'll come off the fan. If the fan blows across the end of the hose, you can get a false reading because of the Venturi effect created at the end of the hose. Now I've installed the fan on the opening, and I've fastened the fan to the crossbar with the Velcro strap. If you lose the Velcro strap, you can just as easily fasten the fan to the bar with a piece of cord or a strap. Now I'm installing the motor control. You can fasten it either to the blower door frame using the specialized bracket, or you can just fasten that control to the edge of the door itself. You could just spread all the equipment out on the floor, but it works better to have the equipment up where you can see it and so you can work more efficiently. Here I'm plugging the power cord from the motor controller into the fan and then into the wall. Now I'm hooking up the hoses. The green hose from outdoors will go to the lower port marked reference on channel A. This setup allows you to read house with reference to outdoors on channel A. The red hose is attached to the input port on channel B. The other end of the red hose goes to the pressure port on the fan housing. This port has a built-in connection to the pressure sensor on the fan housing. Here I'm checking the fan flow switch to confirm that the fan will move air through the door in the proper direction. And here I'm configuring the manometer. We'll show you all the details about manometer setup in another module, but here you can see the basic steps that are required. First, I've set up the manometer to measure built-in airflow at 50 pascals of depressurization. I've also selected the type of blower door that's being used, so the manometer knows how to interpret the reading. I'll set a time average of 10 seconds. Time averaging will give you more stable readings in windy or breezy conditions. Then I'll take a baseline reading. This baseline accounts for the slight pressurization or depressurization that exists in most homes even before you turn on the blower door. By noting the baseline before you start the blower door, you'll get a more accurate estimation of air leakage with the blower door running. Finally, I'm ready to start the blower door. But first, I'll need to be sure the house is set up properly so I get an accurate reading and so we don't create a dangerous situation. Now that I know the house is set up properly, I'm ready to do the test. I'll turn the motor controller up slowly to reach negative 50 pascals on channel A. During this test, channel A reads house with reference to outdoors, with the house pressure measured at the input port of channel A and the outdoors pressure measured at the reference port of channel A by way of the green hose that leads to outdoors.